Okay, this is video number 2, and I have changed the scenery a little bit. So we're now in front of Bear's marimba instead of those books. That doesn't mean that I'm a good musician either. So like, don't get that idea just because I'm in front of this musical instrument. So this video, I want to tell you about this really cool project that I got to be a part of while I was over in Guatemala last week. It's called the Trifecta. And the Trifecta is made up of 3 components: water filters, latrines, and safe cook stoves. And the Trifecta really, it does a lot to combat probably 3 of the biggest health threats to families and kids over in these rural villages in southern Guatemala. In December, we received a grant from the Giving Exchange, which is the charitable arm of Christian Brothers Automotive. And the grant was, it provided enough money to give 15 trifectas to 15 different families in one of these villages. I want to give a shout out right now to Carl and Cami Frazier, who connected me to the folks over at the Giving Exchange and encouraged me to apply for the grant. Thank you guys for that. This grant truly is transformative in terms of what it's going to do, not just for 15 individual families, but we're going to concentrate those 15 trifectas into one village, probably Las Brisas, which only has about 20 families, which means that the collective impact of this trifecta can literally transform the village. I'm really excited about it. And so I'm going to tell you about the components of the trifecta in the next video. What I want to tell you about in the remaining time in this video is what we're doing with the Trifecta project. So we spent 3 days assessing every child in Las Brisas. We weighed them, we measured their height, we measured their mid-upper arm circumference, which is a great way to, which is an indicator for malnutrition, because it's a way to measure body mass index. We also visited every house in Las Brisas, and we assessed the houses. Do they have a latrine? Do they have a stove? Do they have a water filter? In most cases, the answer was no. In most cases, if the answer was yes, it was yes, but it doesn't work. It's old. It needs to be replaced. It doesn't work well. And then we spent part of that time in another village called El Retiro. And El Retiro, we did the exact same things, but the idea is that once we choose our 15 families that will be able to receive these trifectas, we're going to choose 15 other families, probably in El Retiro, and we're gonna track the same outcomes between the 15 families with the trifectas and the 15 families in our control group. And those outcomes are going to be, every month we're going to check weight, height, mid-upper arm circumference, how many days did the kids have been to school that month, how many days they were sick that month, and with what. And what our hypothesis is that over the next 12 months, once the trifectas are in, we're going to see that the kids who have these trifectas in their homes are sick less often, that they're in school more often, that their growth trajectories are going to be more on course, and that they're going to outpace all of these same measurements of the kids of the families in the control group, which don't have the trifecta. And the idea is, with this information, we can then go back to donors and go, look at how impactful this trifecta is. Come partner with us so that we can provide more of them, because we've got, literally thousands of homes throughout this rural area that are without this stuff. And we're working with hundreds of people in our limited area, but the more that we can provide these game-changing items, the more these communities can be transformed, which creates more hope and more opportunity for the kids and for future generations. And that is our hope with the Trifecta project. So in the next video, I'm going to break down the 3 parts of the trifecta a little bit more to give you an idea of why this stuff is so important.